The Senate Committee on Commerce, Science, and Transportation will come to order. This is an aviation subcommittee, and we are having a hearing today on NextGen, a review of the progress, challenge, and opportunities for improving aviation safety and efficiency. I want to thank the witnesses for being here today. The Honorable Michael Whitaker, who is Deputy Administrator for the FAA, welcome. Mr. Matthew Hampton, Assistant Inspector General for Aviation Audits and Office of the Inspector General for the U.S. Department of Transportation. Mr. Paul Rinaldi, President, the National Air Traffic Controllers Association, welcome. And Mr. Gary Beck, Vice President, Flight Operations, Alaska Airlines. I don't know if that means that you live in the Northwest, but if that is indeed the case, welcome. I appreciate you being here.
Doesn't matter where he lives, he's got a great haircut.
Just like yours. Okay, today we are here to discuss the Next Generation Air Traffic System, more commonly known as NextGen. And this program has been promised as a way to increase safety, improve efficiency, reduce fuel costs by reforming our air traffic control system. A fully implemented NextGen system is also critical for building capacity in our aviation system to meet the demands of a growing middle class around the globe and the increase in air transportation. There is a lot to do to achieve these goals. $5 million has been invested in NextGen thus far, and it has, as the IG report says, produced some milestones being met. But as the report shows, there is also issues related to the ADS-B program, a cornerstone of the technology, and underlying problematic challenges and an executable plan for coordinating many of the multiple programs and the technical issues. So we'll look forward to hearing more from the IG report. We are expected to continue to invest $1 billion a year in NextGen, and there have been some delays in this implementation that we need to push beyond. It's unacceptable for us to continue to spend resources and not make more progress as it relates to the flying public. We have asked the private sector, commercial air carriers, cargo, and general aviation to make real investments in helping us meet the promise of NextGen, but we have little data and metrics to assess the value of that investment. We have created the NextGen Advisory Committee in the last FAA reauthorization bill to help the FAA get back on track. And thanks to many people, including Alaska Airlines CEO Bill Ayers, who have made progress on helping us keep the implementation of key priorities. But a lot of work still remains. The NextGen Advisory Committee has said the FAA should focus on key areas: runway operations, performance-based navigation, surface operations, and data communications. These four priorities represent consensus between industry and the FAA, where optimum progress can be made in the shortest amount of time. I can't emphasize how important I believe that aspect is. When you see the progress that has been made from greener skies, you certainly think, why can't we get this as a model that could be replicated more quickly, airport to airport or region to region, having learned all the pluses and challenges with implementation, thereby flattening some of those and making it easier for the next airport to implement. So I certainly hope that this is one of the priorities we'll move on faster. This will deliver maximum return on investment for the taxpayers and the airline industry and improve the service to the flying public. The FAA has promised a report on the path forward for many of the priorities. We look forward to getting that, I believe, on this July, and so we'll have a chance to ask a little bit about that today on data communications and the improvements that are supposed to be made between air traffic controllers and the commercial pilots, the performance-based navigation system using GPS, the automatic dependent surveillance and broadcast, ADS-B, and a variety of other issues about the traveling public and their smoother, shorter flight. So obviously, we know that NextGen has the promise of an estimated 1.6 billion gallons of fuel savings by 2020, and this will help airlines invest in newer, more fuel-efficient, safer planes, which is also good for domestic manufacturing and good for our environment. So we all understand that investments must be made in infrastructure before associated capabilities and benefits are realized, and that's why Deputy Administrator Whitaker, I appreciate your leadership and what you've brought to the agency to bring focus to this. We know that there are many challenges you face in implementing a whole new system in an existing culture. So we are all here to help focus on these issues today and hope that we can prioritize some of these investments. One of the areas I mentioned is the implementation of the Greener Skies initiative over to Seattle, where Alaska Airlines partnered with Seattle, Boeing, the FAA, and leveraged Alaska's pioneering efforts on next-gen and performance-based navigation. Today, there are more performance-based navigation procedures in use than conventional routes, and Alaska's private investment and research in this field has benefited passengers throughout the nation, and it is critical that we continue to fund the research and development that will help achieve these technically complex capabilities and long-term goals. So I look forward to hearing from all the witnesses today on this important endeavor that we're undertaking. Again, thank you all for your contribution, and now I'll turn to the ranking member, Senator Ayotte, for her opening statement.